You're now listening to the Cerberus Gridiron Podcast. And now your hosts, Christian and Kris, powered by Cerberus Fantasy Sports.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Cerberus Gridiron Podcast. We got a big treat for y'all this evening. I know it is draft season and everybody's ready to draft.
Let's go.
So we decided to let's do a little something, and let's just get a draft going up on Underdog. So right now, Christian _ CFS is drafting from that 1.1 position. And then we got Mr. K Camp. Well, where you drafting from, Mr. K Camp?
I'm drafting at 104. That's my birthday. Yes, that's apropos. Let's go.
Okay, and then we also got, I know y'all remember him, Mr. N.M Porterfield from Burn the Playbook.
Yes, sir.
Welcome in again.
He joined us for our quarterback, not quarterback, our wide receiver.
No, it was quarterback.
It was quarterback.
Okay, quarterback. Okay.
Hey, we live. We
live.
You got to bring
And we also have a good old boy, friend of the family, everything, Chase, bringing him in so we can get a different perspective. And as y'all can see, we're drafting from the I'm drafting from the 1.01. And you already know who I got to take.
Don't mess up.
I got to take the best player available.
Yeah, don't mess it up.
Oh,
I had to take.
Oh,
I had to take Jamar Chase.
See, I can't get that.
The reason
to say that.
The reason why I took Jamar Chase is because you got to look at the offense. You got to see what the Bengals are going to be doing this year. And they got Joe Burrow. But also, I really didn't feel comfortable in taking JJ, even though the Minnesota Vikings actually only won by, 7 of their points last year. Was like all close games. So, Mr. Kris Camp, why did you take CMC?
So I took CMC. He's not hurt. I mean, all these injuries in training camp. So I went with the best, what I thought was the best running back. It was between him and Travis Kelce. So I chose CMC.
Oh. Okay. I see we got some experienced people up in here with these shields and everything.
Oh, I see. Chase, who did you just pick and why? Chase picked Travis Kelce. We'll figure out why he picked when he get back on.
So what are you thinking about here, Mr. Porterfield and everything?
I'm hoping they leave me Eckler.
Okay.
As one quick aside, Christian, in the other league, you just drafted Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. Just want to put that out there. But go ahead.
All right. So we taking Austin Eckler.
And why you taking Austin Eckler?
So as far as PPR goes, which come on now, over 100 receptions as a running back. Yeah. So that on its own is worth, taking them. If you're gonna pick at 109, all the top receivers are gone. So if you want to get that reception value and get it at the running back position, over 100 receptions last year, that should kind of maintain this year.
Agreed. I'm taking Keenan Allen over here.
Man, I ain't worried about them other drafts right now. I'm focusing on this one for the people. Y'all let us know out there. Let us know who is drafting the best.
I'm still trying to do both myself.
Can I have that do a screen?
So if you think my team is doing pretty good, gonna put that one up there, drop a 1. If you think Mr. K Camp is doing good, you're gonna drop that 2. If you think Mr. N.M Porterfield from Burn the Playbook is doing well, drop that 3. And then if you think Chase is doing good, then drop that 4.
Chase, can you tell us why you picked Travis Kelce at the 1.06? You had dropped. We was asking you had dropped.
Yeah, the reason why I drafted him because he's pretty much the top tight end for this season, and did it drop again? Yeah. Okay. Pretty much he's the tight end. Pretty much they don't really got a receiver, so we're gonna give it a shot.
So in my guide, one of the things that I did, I kind of tracked the stats for each position. And so if you look at the gap between Travis Kelce and the number 2 tight end, they still beat him by it's like 60
It should have been
points.
it should have been like 100 probably.
It probably was close to 100. It was a lot. It wasn't even close.
You saying Kelce did?
Yes. Basically, Travis Kelce's points for fantasy, the difference between number 1 and number 2 at tight end was greater than the difference between. Ooh, y'all left me. Let me see. Let's go Devontae.
Don't y'all let me know killers out there, man.
But the difference between the tight end 1 and tight end 2 was greater than the difference between tight end 2 and like tight end 7. Like it was massive. And then his red zone targets last year, I think he had over 30 like red zone. Like he was number 1 in red zone targets last year, number 1 in routes run. Like every tight end stat that he could lead in, he was number 1 in. The only thing that he wasn't really number 1 in was routes run from the slot position, and that was Evan Ingram. But outside of that, like Kelce was basically the top dog in every tight end stat you could think of.
Okay.
You know, I had a debate. I had a debate with my co-host. If we had a debate on, I was like, take Travis Kelce,
bro. This dude,
he could understand why. He's like, take a wide receiver. I was like, bro, he's essentially a wide receiver.
Right.
Did not get that through that head of his. But hey,
bro, this dude was seriously, no lie. This dude was doing something like crazy. Like we're supposed to be talking about like running backs or something like that, and the dude went like left field and started doing something else.
Because he had made a comment that it was just way off, and I didn't understand. He really still couldn't explain it to me why he did what he did. Why he wouldn't take. I got Devontae Smith as my number 1. I don't love that.
Well, that's what happens when you draft from where you are and you draft that running back.
See, that's why I hate. You're right. I can't. You're right.
But why'd you draft Devontae Adams?
Devontae's gonna eat, man. He's gonna eat, man. He was one of the highest targeted receivers last year. I know a lot of people think because Jimmy's there that it's gonna drop off, but Jimmy can still deliver the ball the same as Derek Carr. It's just he's gonna hit different parts of the field, and so he's still gonna be one of the most highest targeted players in football. He's still one of the best route runners in football. So it's gonna look the same but look different, if that makes sense. He's still gonna get 10 targets a game, but instead of him running down the field and stuff like that, it's gonna be coming across the middle or outs and slants and things where he got to get yards after the catch. So the receptions are gonna definitely be there. The targets are definitely gonna be there. The thing about last year with Devontae Adams, he had 14 touchdowns, and so that's what you want him to replicate. And with Darren Waller not being there and the other receiver that's supposed to be the number 2, Jacoby Myers, because I don't know what's going to happen with Hunter Renfrow, but Jacoby Myers is more of a speedster, deep threat guy. He's not going to be getting those types of routes because of who Jimmy is. So I would expect Devontae Adams to pick up all those targets that may not be there for Darren Waller anymore.
Okay. Kris, you usually went back to back. Tell us about your 2 picks back to back.
So I got auto picked JT. Did not want to take JT because we don't know what's going to be happening.
I was going to ask you about that.
So that was the auto pick right there. But we'll see what ends up happening to him. Even though I still like him regardless, like what ends up happening. Hopefully he doesn't sit out, which I don't think he will. But I actually went Gibbs because I just really like Detroit's offense, especially since we know like a top 12 pick. So we already know how they do whenever they're actually being selected high. Like they're most likely going to finish up in the top 5 as like an RB. So that's the reason why I went with him. All right, Chase, what about you for selecting Debo?
Right. So that's kind of a toss up. We just gonna throw darts at the door and piss Nigel off as most possible. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I know
And
he
what
was
about
targeting
you?
him.
That may not be the one that would upset me though. There might be another.
It may,
There might be another receiver in San Fran that I might care more about.
right, it might be.
Talk about it.
Uh
Got some inside
oh.
information.
Hey, I got a little inside information. So once again, burn the playbook. Make sure y'all get the guide because it drops tomorrow. But in doing my insider scope, which receiver was number 3 in target separation last year? Meaning when they running routes, they're getting the most separation. That would be Brandon Ayuk, was number 3 in the league in route separation for routes run. So he's getting open. The issue is that the quarterbacks weren't getting the ball to him.
Nope.
So we're hoping, especially if it happens to be that Trey does become that guy, that with him being open, he'll get a lot more targets, especially because he runs a lot more routes downfield. His depth of target was a little bit deeper than the average receiver too. So,
well, also tell us why'd you take Brees Hall at your last selection?
Look, man, I am this one is just a person. I told Kris this the other day. Brees Hall is one of my personal favorites. Ain't no logic behind me picking Brees other than I just think he's an excellent running back and I like him. Ain't no lie. He may not even play for the first 6 weeks, but I like him. That's my guy. So my hope is that towards the end of the season, or he starts to come back to full form, and we start to see those 100-yard rushing, 70-yard receiving games. Give me a touchdown in there, and you come alive then.
Oh, you got Keenan Allen.
Yes, sir, I did. Yes, sir, I did.
And then on top of that, we don't really know his role just yet with the Jets, with Devin Cook being there. So we'll see later on.
That is very true. That is very true.
He could be a third down back.
It's possible. It's possible. I have my thoughts on that, but I am very biased when it comes to Brees Hall. There's only 2 running backs that's ever had me like that. It's Saquon Barkley and Brees Hall. All logic goes out the window when it comes to them two.
Oh, Alexander Madison. Let's talk about it, Chase. Let's talk about it. Why did you select
let's talk about Minnesota's run game. It's kind of unknown right now, so we really don't know just yet. But if you base it off the last couple of years he's been playing, when Devin Cook went down, he was pretty much the guy. The backup they got, he may play, but I really see him getting bulk of the carries. I really see him really kind of stepping up more. He could be that breakout player of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, I see 2 outcomes with Alexander Madison. Either he's going to be like Chase was saying, the breakout player of the year, or he's not going to do enough, and there's going to be some mixture of a committee to somebody else eventually taking hold of that backfield.
Okay. And Mr. K. Kent, we see that you took Mr. DJ Moore. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it.
I did take DJ Moore all across the board this year. At least I'm hoping that's my projection with Justin Fields, him getting together. They've been hanging out. They're doing interviews together. So I'm hoping I will see a Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp type relationship and connection. That's what I'm making as the upside.
So as we're sitting here waiting for this next selection, I have the next pick coming up. It should be obvious of who I'm taking right here. It's I'm trying to get that stack with Mr. With Mr. Jamar Chase and everything. They've had a connection since I'm talking about like Chef Kiss like connection. But this second pick, so I'm trying to think like what direction I want to go right here with this second pick.
See, this is why I got it. This is why I got to keep my mouth shut.
There's a lot of options out there.
Oh, get Mike Williams.
There's a lot of
get Mike Williams.
There's a lot of options out there.
I know who your favorite author wants. I know he's hoping he still be there. I know who
he probably will still be there because DeAndre Hopkins.
He went with D-Hop. Okay.
All right.
No, I didn't. That was auto pick right there.
He was talking to Get Count. I had a feeling because he was like, "Oh, shit." I was talking to Get Count.
That was auto pick again. So I got 2 auto picks, y'all.
Hey,
But if
I
I
appreciate
didn't,
it.
I'm okay with the D Hop. I wasn't actually going. If I was actually going to take somebody, I was thinking about taking Miles Sanders right here.
Is Miles still on board?
He's still down there.
Oh, he way
See,
down there.
man, that's what
Okay.
we do over here at Daggone Servers Fantasy Sports. Whenever people daggone zig, we zag the other way.
He took my guy. I was gonna get Brandon Ayuk. You motorboating son of a. Get the guy you want, Nigel, because I already have one. So let me think. I need to go.
I'm hoping it looks like everybody but Josh 314 got one.
This is
QB?
ugly.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Oh well, the guy behind him don't either.
I didn't want to say nothing because Chase is still picking, but you said it, so that's what I'm thinking he's gonna do.
Well, Chase already got one, so I mean,
Okay,
he might go quarterback again, but I didn't think he would because he already had one.
You never know with me.
I did not mean to get George Pickens over here. This other one. Damn it.
Well, you got Hawkinson, right?
Yeah, but this other draft. I get George
I forget the other drafts. I ain't worrying about them, dog. I'm just focusing on this one right here.
Yeah, I'm trying to multitask. It's on you, champ. Where we going?
Man, we looking at receiver. You know I'm a homer. I'm about to go for my homer.
Got
Hey,
one.
man.
You know I'm a big.
Oh, you went Burks.
That's right, Arkansas.
I'm big Traylon Burks guy. You know, Arkansas, we on the map. You know, I would say this. The reason why. Yeah, the reason why I drafted him because I will tell you from all the stats that I read that he has outperformed last year already. And with D-Hop, this is actually going to make him better this year versus last year. So I really did. He lost weight. He got built more muscle. I really think that he could be another breakout player.
Guess who got a Chargers stack? Keenan Allen, Eckler, and Justin Herbert.
Full stack.
Yes, sir. Go. Yes, sir.
So we bragging up on stacks now?
I mean, it's part of it, right?
That's Justin Herbert is my MVP candidate for the year. For this year.
You get that from me? No, I said Joe Burrow.
No, you said Burrow.
You said Burrow.
Yeah. He's my number 2, though. You're right.
Herbert is my MVP candidate for this year.
Hey, Chase, I'm not gonna lie. If you have the ability, try to get Raji Rice up in the late rounds just to complete your stack.
Right. That's what I'm looking at, trying to get it.
Yeah, I think that stack's gonna be pretty good. I got another. Let's see what's going to end up happening. Pretty sure it can work properly well. Okay, oh snap! Wait, never mind.
I need to go right back here.
Yeah. So what do y'all? So you got your stack, Mr. N.M Porterfield.
Yes, sir.
So what are y'all thinking about the draft so far? Like looking at y'all's team, like do you like the construction, like the way it's built?
So this is probably the best draft I've had all off season. my drafting luck has not been that good. This is probably the best draft I've had all off season.
Okay.
I feel really good about it.
I don't look because I think I don't have enough wide receivers.
Now I'm not gonna lie, man. My draft, even though I did auto pick twice, team looking pretty good if those guys actually play.
Because your auto picks were who? Hopkins and
then JT
Haley? Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Now word on the street is that people better be watching out for them Kansas City Chiefs now.
Man, they don't have the money.
They can always make room for money.
That's the thing about
they didn't make room for D-Hop. Why wouldn't it? You know,
well,
there's the money for him.
So
D-Hop ain't no JT.
They may view the running back position different than a wide receiver. They really might feel like, hey, we got enough talent at wide receiver. And from what
hold on, let's cut this off right here. Why'd you take J.K. Dobbins, even though he's up on the PUP list?
That PUP list ain't real. I don't believe in that.
Okay.
I don't think he's really hurt in a manner that would keep him from performing. I think this is more contract related. And I expect with the new OC, with the new way that the offense is going to move, that J.K. Dobbins is going to have a very productive season this year.
So, I got one thing on J.K. Dobbins. He kind of scared me because he demanded for money that he hasn't earned yet. So
So me and Kris was talking about this. Is like it's true. He hasn't really earned it, but in the year that he's in his fourth year, right? What do? You gotta ask for it at some point in time. And so it's like, do you wait and hope at the end of the season that they honor you and look out for you, or do you say, hey, look, before the season even start, let's get something on paper so that I can know what my future looks like here. It's the running back market right now is just terrible. Like as far as getting paid, it's terrible. Because a lot of the stuff, like you were saying, like he ain't really earned it, and it's hard because the running back position is such a position of attrition. They get beat up more than any other like skill position. And so they're other than the quarterback, nobody's touching the ball more than the running back. Not only are they having to run the ball, they got to block, they got to do all these other things as well. And it's like for the team and the league to not really value that position, it kind of sucks. So I definitely support the running backs getting their money in any way that they can. But at the same time, we also know some people ain't going to get paid, which is why I'm so like, why did Saquon take the deal that he took? And maybe he has a long game on that, like something that we don't know he's planning on doing. But with him taking that deal, it kind of sets a standard or a bar for all the other teams because they're like, hey, well, this is what Saquon took, and you ain't done what Saquon has done. So why should we pay you da-da-da-da-da? Like JT definitely has a reason to ask for money. He earned it. He definitely earned it. J.K. Dobbins is a little bit different, but at the same time, it's now or never for him because he's in his fourth year. So it's definitely a tricky situation for all of them.
Yep.
Right, and I'm gonna just knock that out the way and just say I take Gus Edwards before I take J.K. Dobbins.
Really?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a spicy meatball right there.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I believe Gus Edwards is probably the better guy. He just said that when he gets his chance, he takes opportunity. So he just keep getting hurt. Them two guys, if they can stay uninjured at least for 8 weeks, we'll actually see what they really were.
So one of the stats for running backs that I was looking at when I was making the guide is breakaway rate, right? Like evaded tackles and breakaway rate. And towards the end of the season, I think the last like 6 games or so, J.K. Dobbins led the league in breakaway, like runs of over 10 yards or runs of over is either 10 yards or 15 yards. He actually led the league in that. And so he's definitely and he's not, he's still not 100%. What do we want to do here? Do we want to go tight end?
Hey Chase, man, tell us why you ended up taking Dalvin Cook while Mr. N.M Porterfield was over there.
Oh man, Dalvin Cook about to do big things in New York. The Jets, baby, the Jets.
George Pickens.
George Pickens. Oh,
I went George Pickens. That was that. I zigged a little bit right there. That's not
gotta zig when people zag.
That's not somebody that I typically would have went with. What I'm going off of is an expectation based off of how I saw Pittsburgh move on this offseason. So basically, everything that Pittsburgh did this offseason was to give Kenny Pickett more time to throw the ball. Block better in general. Just get better blocking. Darnell Washington being added as an inline blocker is going to make it so hard for teams to get to Pickett. And so he's going to have more time to throw. I don't think Pickens is an excellent separator. I like receivers that can separate really well, but I think he's a big enough target, and I think he's a good enough contested catch maker that he's going to get a lot of red zone targets, and so I'm counting on that touchdown equity to boost his value.
Okay. Right. The Steelers, I will tell you, I'm big on Kenny Pickett this year. I'm big on Pickens and Johnson and Najee. I feel like we're going to see the real Steelers this year. So Steel Curtain's coming.
Yeah. Najee's
going to do big numbers this year.
Yeah, I actually. So
real big numbers.
He was top 5 in attempts last year, even with him splitting some time with Jaylen Warren And even with him having that Liz Frank injury at the beginning of the season, he was still top 5 in attempts, meaning that the Steelers didn't care. They still going to pound the ball with him. So if he's fully healthy this year, I'm about to mess y'all up, boy. This is the best draft I have had. I'm telling you.
You for the acute joint? Oh, he wouldn't say Flowers. Bulldog.
You ain't messing me up over here, dog.
Telling y'all, man, this is the best draft I've had.
That's 30 seconds and you own it. Click it. Because you don't get no time to think. You just go.
Right.
We ain't thinking, we just going.
Right. You have no time to think. I'm picking player before we even get there.
Oh, I already got my players selected, but I ain't put them so y'all can see who they are though.
Yeah, it's when you have these 30-second and so one of the things I talk about in the draft guide, make sure you get the guide, drops tomorrow. But one of the things I talk about is making sure that you do these mock drafts. So one, you get in the habit of knowing who's going to be at what position. So you don't want to have it in your mind you're going to get certain players if that player falls close to another player that you're going to have to get, right? Like you got to know ADP, you got to know how players are actually falling in picks. So if one player is at 111 and the next person's at 2.1, but you're at pick 1.5, like you're not going to get both of those players. You can reach to get one if you really wanted them.
Right.
So you gotta anticipate those types of things, and practicing mock drafts is a good way to get yourself in the habit of knowing where people are going to fall, knowing how other people are picking. So like if you're starting to see, hey, people are starting to grab Travis Etienne higher than his ADP, something's going on there. If I want Travis Etienne, I might need to anticipate that. But the only way you'll know that is if you start doing more mock drafts and things of that nature.
Now, Chase, let's talk about why you got Mr. Dalton Kincaid.
Hey, let's talk about it. So, reports I read, he's playing receiver. He's going to be a third slot receiver, maybe the fourth. He's not going to play tight end. And he may be playing a lot of fullback. So, it's a possibility that he could get a couple of vultures in the end zone. But once again, this ain't guaranteed. It's all speculation because we ain't seen him on the field yet. When we see him on the field, we'll know what he's worth. But sometime in the best ball league, you got to reach to get who you want. Because if you sit there and wait, like your favorite author said, you sit there and wait, you may not get the person you want.
Think wrong.
So, Mr. K. Camp, why did you end up picking Mr. Elijah Moore?
I took Elijah Moore. He's pretty good out the slot. Is Amari still hurt? So he's getting a lot of connection with Deshaun Watson. Having him have a pretty good year. I've really got to hammer out some wide receivers and running backs coming up. Because I'm not loving this too much. So I'm about to go running back here. It's a complete stack. I'm trying to decide between AJ Dillon or Rashad Penny. I don't love any of these guys right here.
Most definitely don't like Rashad Penny at all. I don't think he's going to make it past week 6.
I don't. Well, he ain't starting, so I'm going to reach for. I think I've been reaching this whole draft. So let's continue on. Fuck it. Just not stop.
Funny thing is, Chris, what did we say? What did I say earlier? I felt like we've been reaching in the other draft that we're doing.
Crazy.
Like every draft that I've been in, with the except, I did one mock draft. There was a what was it? It was Superflex. I did a Superflex mock draft, and I just happened to be at 105, so I ended up getting Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown in the second round, and then I ended up getting Tua and I think Waddle. And I was like, okay, that one's not bad. But my running backs weren't that great in that league. But this is the first one where it's like I'm getting quality at every position with the exception of tight end, which I haven't drafted yet. So let me go ahead and get me one of them.
You got good balance. You got good balance now.
All right, let's get since we going this way. And then
okay, Mr. Pat Frymouth. I like that.
And so I got so now I'm going to see if I can swing another stack out of this thing because Pickett's still there, right?
Yeah,
he's still
way down there. You might get some time on him. I think.
Yeah. So I can wait on that and get some more value players later on and still have that stack. Kenny Pickett had a little bit of rushing upside last year. I don't know if y'all watched any of them games, but
I did.
yeah, he was. It ain't no Josh Allen or nothing like that, but he'll get out of there when he don't see it. He'll run for a first down and get you some yards. So,
young legs, they're still young.
Oh yes.
I need something to shake. Everybody's scared of Zach Charbonnet with that shoulder injury, huh? He's just falling. Oh, he ain't falling yet. All right.
So I think there's a chance that his rookie season might be. He's gonna play, but it's not gonna be the season that it could have been. Kenneth Walker may have been saved by this injury because I think it's a torn labrum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so a lot of players you could play through it, but you're probably not gonna get the best football out of them.
And as a running back, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. All
right. So, Mister, you on the clock? What you going? Who you doing?
Let's do it. We need another receiver. We ain't doing Cortland. Oh,
shit out there.
We're gonna go here.
Romeo Dopp. I like that.
Okay.
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, man. The amount of research I spent on this guide, and I was like, man, I know so much about players that I ain't never even gonna draft. Like I don't learn so much stuff about people I ain't even gonna look at in fantasy, but I know the stats though.
Yeah.
Chase, you on the clock. What are you thinking there, buddy?
So, my team is pretty much set. Now I got to find the backup. So, I'm going to go ahead and take Peon because I think he could do some damage this year in Denver. Okay. Take him while you can. I think right now, these picks, I think everybody's in panic mode because someone just picked Prescott. And maybe he don't have a quarterback, but it's like kind of panic a little bit on his pick. That was Josh 314.
Yeah,
like he kind of panicked. And I drafted Sky Moore because Sky Moore made a jump. They said he could play top slot receiver, and he's ranked the top 50 receiver.
I think he is going to play slot.
Yeah. And I've been hearing a lot of good things about Scott in this offense, so that was a solid thing.
I'm surprised y'all ain't get Justin Ross.
I can't believe dude took Matthew Stafford.
Kris, he's still there.
Who?
Didn't you say Ross? Yeah, he's still there.
Oh, he gonna be there.
Oh, okay.
All right. So y'all probably ain't gonna. A lot of people are gonna probably be like, "What is he doing up here with this?" But I got to get who I like over here. There's just something about these players. So I already know this guy's not gonna take the guy that I'm gonna end up getting. So I am pretty much set at QB. I do not have to look at it anymore. I'm going with my last pick in the QB position. It's Mr. Jared Goff. I'm really high on him this year. And then I'm going to round it out with a lot of people are probably going to say, I should have waited for this, but that's not my philosophy. I'm all about getting your guy. And I'm also going to get my second tight end in Mr. Sam Laporta right here as well. So right now I actually have the fourth stack of I have DeAndre. No, not DeAndre. I got Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff, and Jameson Williams, J-Mo. And I know he's already suspended a 4-6 game. And with me having DeAndre Hopkins and Jamar Chase, I think I'll be good there. Just need for him to explode once he comes back on that week 7, since they're going to be off. And then Sam Laporta, I know he's going to be heavily involved in the system. And if y'all looked at the other episodes, y'all saw how really high I am on the Detroit Lions this year as well.
Oh, it's about to be on me. I don't know what to do. I guess I'm going to go with Alan Lazard. Let's do it. If you don't pick him, God dang. I don't even know. I need to go.
You know who to pick.
You know what?
Yep. He staring you in the face.
He staring me in the face.
Oh, not DJ. Not
DJ. He was there seeing me in the face.
Staring you in the face.
I look down like wide receiver. I'm like nothing. I guess I'm gonna go here.
So we're gonna go here. We're gonna shock the world. We're gonna take my guy, Adam Thielen.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot.
All right. So I'm gonna talk about that. I'm big on the Carolina Panthers here. I think we're gonna see a lot more. We thinking right now we see a short quarterback with tall receivers. We're thinking Tua. I don't think we're thinking Tua. I think we're thinking Drew Brees with Bryce Young.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Got the Panthers winning that division, y'all. And also, please do not forget.
I agree with your assessment.
Go rank number 1.
That's why I'm
y'all gonna give us the ranking. Yeah.
I'm gonna let you have it because this is your thing. I'm gonna let you have it. But Baker Mayfield got a chip on his shoulder. We're gonna see.
He's gonna win the division.
He's had a chip for a while. He's had a big potato chip sitting up on that shoulder.
Hey, but let's be realistic. He bounced around that whole season. He didn't have a chance to sit down and read the playbook. Now he has opportunity to be behind Kyle Trask, learn the playbook, learn Tampa. Tampa already got a super team in Rachaad White, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. You got Kay Otter coming up. The defense is there. We just need a quarterback. And we hope that Baker or Trask can beat them guys. If not, I mean, Caleb Williams next year from USC. I mean, hopefully we can take the grab him.
Let's take your favorite author. Tell us why you went and got Jonathan Mingo.
For the same reasons that Chase said, the belief in and what Bryce Young is going to do with the Panthers. I think that team is going to be a lot better than people realize. And I am leaning into the belief that Mingo is going to be a massive yards after the catch player, and he's going to be targeted quite a bit. When I think of his physical build, because he's 6'2", 220. He's the biggest receiver out there.
Okay.
And so, like, I think he's the same height as one other guy, but he's 220. And so, when you think about somebody with that build, he's going to be hard to take down. They're gonna scheme up some plays to get the ball in his hands.
So, just so you know, y'all do not be shocked if Laviska Shenault does something this year, based off what they've been doing what he's been doing up in training camp right now, and how they're trying to figure out how to actually use him into the offense.
Yeah, I did see that Frank Reich said he compared him to Deebo Samuel. I did see that. Really? But I've heard a few people be compared to Deebo Samuel, and we ain't seen nobody else be a Deebo Samuel yet. So you can hear that. You gotta kind of, buyer beware with that one. I mean, if you're right and you do get Laviska and he turns into that.
But that's just up in the late round, though. It's like, so it's best ball. Like, you're just trying to get. So that's why I said, like, he's a good pick at the end. Like, a lot of people don't know, like, based off, like, whenever you're watching, like, at the training camps and everything, that he's already lining up as a running back. And it's not like how he was last year, where he was just brought onto the team. It's sort of similar to what you were saying, Chase, about Baker. He just got, like, they just picked him up during the season, and now he actually has a full season, and the team is actually seeing what he can do.
Not only that, the whole Matt Rule era needs to be erased from the record books, because the players said that basically the whole time he was there, like, they didn't feel like they had been coached the whole time he was there.
Exactly.
Like, he didn't know how to. He didn't know how to. I guess, like some coaches. So if I were to give a mediocre quarterback to Andy Reid or to Brian Daboll or somebody like that, I would expect that he can make them better. Some guys, they don't know what to do with talent when they get it. You could have the best roster in the world, but if the coach don't know how to bring it out of you, Chip Kelly was another one. Back when the 49ers had Chip Kelly, I was like, good gracious, like, our roster ain't this bad. Why are we losing? Like, we was just in the NFC Championship 2 years ago now. Why are we 2-12? Like, what's going on here? So Everybody don't know what to do with talent. Everybody's not meant to be a head coach either. Some guys are just meant to be coordinators, and that's okay. You got to know your strengths. But Matt Rule definitely did not do the Panthers any favors. He wasted a lot of people's time and wasted Tepper's money. But it is what it is. But I think Frank Wright has already. We already know what he can do as far as getting the most out of a player. He's done it in the past. He's done it as an offensive coordinator. He's made quarterbacks better. When you have a quarterback like Bryce Young, who already comes with the skill set and with the knowledge and with the mentality to be a star, really all you got to do then is just not mess it up and just get him up on the playbook. So I have a lot of confidence that the Panthers are going to surprise a lot of people this year. That division is going to be a little more competitive than people realize.
So, like a lot of people out there right now, a lot of people don't know this, but the whole division has probably like the easiest schedules. So right now, the number one easiest schedule is the Falcons. Number 2 is the Saints, and then the Panthers, I think, are like top 5. Or like at like number 5, and then we already know the Bucs are where they are because they ended up winning the division last year.
Right.
But that's what a lot of people don't realize too, as well, is that division is wide open and the schedules are really easy this year.
Should I add to this stack and get Gerald Everett?
Probably did. That's what I did. You saw what I got.
Get another tight end.
Yeah, I need another tight end. Let's do it, guys. I'm not a big believer in Everett this year. Everett really had the year he had last year because everybody was hurt for the Chargers.
Agreed.
But because there's such a history of injuries on that offense, if it happens again, I'm covered.
And who was your first tight end you got?
My first tight end was who was it? I have to go back and look. Let me see. Can I scroll down and see?
I'll look for you.
I got it.
It's
Frymouth. Yep. Which means I still got to get Pickett.
Let's talk about why you got Bryce Young.
So let's say we're not talking about it. It's going to be an easy decision. He should have no problems getting the ball up. I think he comes out. I think he comes out top 20 fantasy quarterback this year.
There's a rub.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing about it is, let's talk about the NFC for a minute. I mean, who's really going to challenge them guys over there? You got Jalen Hurts, you got Jared Goff, you got Justin Fields and Kirk Cousins. Everything is tossed up. Jordan Love, we don't know yet what Jordan Love is capable of doing. We don't know what Matthew Stafford is going to be. Is he going to play the whole season or is he going to be hurt? I mean, the 49ers got a three quarterback fight right now between Brock Purdy and Trey Lance and Sam Donald. So we don't know.
Our quarterback don't matter. It don't matter who.
Right. It don't matter. So there you go. It don't matter. But it's just that, there's 2 teams that should win NFC. It's either going to be the Eagles or the Cowboys. If they can't do it, if they can't do it this year,
you right.
The Cowboys ain't never going to do it. I mean, so.
Well, they ain't been doing it since 1995, yo.
They ain't never going to do it.
Right.
But you said division or conference? Because 49ers been to 3 NFC championships past 3 years now.
Right, but we don't know yet what they can do until they got a real, healthy quarterback. Healthy quarterback.
If you got 4, you got none. What they say? Well, Bill Parcells say if you got 2, you got none.
We did it. We did it with Jimmy. We did it with Brock Purdy. We still got Brock Purdy. We still got Trey. But we don't win based off of quarterback play. Most of our quarterbacks typically throw like 24 times a game, 24 to 25 times a game. If we're throwing for more than that, it's because the game is close. We're gonna run the ball 40 times a game. McCaffrey gonna run it 15 times. Elijah Mitchell gonna run it. No, check the stats though. You got to check the stats. So you're
right.
That's why a lot of people are big on Elijah Mitchell this year, because if you watch the games, McCaffrey would get the first half, and as long as the game was like taken care of and handled, then Elijah Mitchell would get the second half. And that's kind of how it was split. So it'd be like McCaffrey would get like 15 carries and Mitchell would get like 12 carries. And then McCaffrey would also get the receptions in there too. So it'd be like 15 carries and like, 3-4 receptions. Elijah Mitchell's all runs. And so that's how we want to beat you. Defense and running the ball. We've never been a quarterback driven. Well, not since Kyle has taken over. We haven't been a quarterback driven team.
I respect it. We'll take that into consideration.
Let me see. I'm still trying to do both of these drafts at the same time. I don't know what I have over here.
You and me both. I've been going back and forth.
I peeked at one and it was like, how do I get Hollywood Brown on here? I know I didn't choose him.
This actually, the other draft is better than this draft that we all in. I don't love this at all. I don't love it. I would prefer Devonta to be a number 2. I feel like I got 2 number 2 starting wide receivers with Devonta and DJ. Well, I mean, I think DJ could be a 1, but as a floor, I was like,
You talking about DJ Moore being number 1?
Yeah.
Number 2? Did you say number 2?
So I think he has
Who else is
upside
there?
to be a 1. He should. You're right. He better be a 1. I'm agreeing with you. He better be a 1.
Right. You come about to say Chase Claypool, he done with. He don't even run plays. He out there passing out water bottles. I don't know what's going on with him. He must be married to a Kardashian.
I feel like I'm boom or bust in this league right here.
And that's how the NFC feels.
I'm boom or bust. Either my team gonna be pretty damn good, or they gonna be trash.
So last year I made it to the semi-conference finals in the best ball league, and what killed me the most was quarterbacks and receivers. Everybody got hurt. Everybody got shut down.
Man, this guy over here. I'm sorry. The guy that picked before me, Crocky 23. He literally has 10 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 10 wide receivers, 1 quarterback, 3 running backs, and 10 wide receivers. I've never seen that before.
Hey, that man said, "Hey, I'm going where the pass catchers are."
That's it. It's a passing league. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's a lot of craziness going on.
I like to be a little bit balanced than that.
Somebody took my quarterback.
Kenny Pickett. Yeah.
Yep, right before you.
Ooh,
he sniped you on purpose. He saw that.
He must be listening to the video.
Yeah, he probably was.
He's like, you ain't getting Kenny Pickett.
Cool.
I mean, you still got Trey Lance down there floating around.
That might end up being who I end up getting. How many rounds we got left? We got what? 2 rounds? All right.
Is that it?
Yeah.
No, I need to go.
Hey, some people still got 1 quarterback. They might want to fix it.
Hey, dog, man, that's the reason why I love my team right now. I just love it.
I don't love.
I picked Singletary, and it's almost like a mistake, but it's kind of figure out what his role is going to be in Houston. I think we're looking at 3rd down back again.
Yeah.
I don't love my
But
team.
with Damian Pierce, we don't know. With the new head coach, we don't know what they're planning. So,
see, this is why I don't. That's why you don't probably go. He got the pass catching ability. I don't love it.
Well, I only got 1 quarterback in that league.
Is that it?
I only got 1.
it's over for hope is a good one.
Oh, Pat Mahomes.
Okay.
I got Mahomes and Kelsey. But if Mahomes go down, I'm done. That's it.
Oh man.
Ezekiel Elliott. Wow.
Well, he's gonna sign with somebody. It look like the Cowboys. So.
Oh, just a locker room guy.
Yeah. I really thought the Commanders was there for a while. The Commanders were talking about taking him, so I didn't know if that was. I'm kind of shocked. I thought Zeke would get a little bit more. That's another team, the Commanders. They're another up in the air team. I mean, it's not an up in the air team this year.
Yeah.
The Commanders gonna be the team that they're not gonna win They're not gonna make the playoffs, but they're gonna beat playoff teams at weird times. They're gonna win games they shouldn't win, lose games that they should win, and they're just gonna be in the mix. Like they'll probably be like a 9-win team, 9-win team in the mix, but they're just never gonna be good enough to really solidify themselves and be in there.
Right.
But that offense is gonna move the ball. I think really they're just gonna lose because their competition overall is gonna be better than them.
Right. Yeah, go receive it this time. So we'll see.
I don't know. I don't love it.
Mike Gesicki.
I don't love it. I don't love this at all.
Hey, it was the way you said it. Mike Gesicki.
I don't love this.
I already told y'all up in the last video, y'all, man, I said, do not draft him.
But I mean, my options were Tyler Compton, Hayden Hurst, I guess Trey McBride.
She went Hayden Hurst. Rookie QB. Rookie QB. He's gonna need a blanket. It's gonna be.
I'll put a lot of pressure on TJ just to hold me down at that position. Hold me down, TJ. Yeah, I don't love this at all. I'm just predicting 2,500 points right now.
Ugh.
I don't love it. That is terrible. My other one, I'm predicting 2,800. Yeah. I don't love it, man. I got 2 more picks left. Top dog, it's on you. Why'd you go Josh Downs?
To complete the stack, dog. You got my stuff.
You got Richard's AR?
You darn right I got AR.
I had no idea, man.
Yeah, and also from what they've been saying about Josh Downs and like how he's been doing up in camp and everything as of thus far, is saying he's been explosive up in the slot and everything. So I think also up in the late round, just a flyer, AR, rolling out of the pocket to the right or to the left, Josh Downs flashing downfield. I think he can get like that Tyreek Hill type of big game whenever he was like a rookie or something like that, like out of nowhere.
I'm going to draft Ryan Tannehill. It's not bad. It's not bad this draft is for me, I feel like. That boosts me up to the projection 27-88 just to get me up. That's what that. Yeah. That's nasty. Where we going? Champ, baby.
You already know. We finna go with the Robert the Trees. Robert Woods, baby.
Bobby Trees.
Bobby Trees. And the reason why I'm going him, he's that guy that everybody's counted out.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud gonna need him a veteran receiver to depend on, and it's gonna be Robert Woods. Because Tank Dell has not worked out well for the Houston Texans.
He had? Really?
It has not. He hasn't developed chemistry with CJ Stroud yet. And this is a source from the US Today, Texas Wire just says Tank Dell has struggled all season in running routes and getting an overall routine with CJ Stroud. It may change, but
it is. It could.
Your favorite Arthur? Why did you pick Jimmy Gag? Jimmy, you about to call him.
So Jimmy G, even though he caused me a lot of PTSD as a 49er, I know that he's an on-time quarterback. That he's a timing quarterback, right? And so I already have Devontae Adams. So if I'm going to count on Devontae to give me big numbers, the guy that's throwing to him also got to give me big numbers.
That's fair. You predicted more than I am. 7 wide receivers. Son of a biscuiting bulldog. Ugh. I don't love this team. I do not. And you coming right back up again. Who you eyeing on the comeback? Hunter Renfrow? Yeah. Nope. Hunter Renfrow. He's gone. In case you were getting him. Darius Slade. I should get him.
I got time. I got to look over some people because what I got 5 running backs. I want another receiver. Who gonna be my?
Well, Darius Slade just got picked. Can't get him. Receiver. Rico. Allen Robinson.
I might do LaVisca. He's still
What?
there.
This guy Michael Wilson. What are you talking about? We got some guy about his name. It's on you.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna do LaVisca. Because I don't think there's a running back I like. Let me see real quick just to make sure. Clyde. Nope.
They did Slim Pickens down here.
Boop.
Well, this should not.
Okay, I mean, you gotta take a chance somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
That guy went Leonard Fournette. He done quit. We know he quit. He's like, forget this shit. I'm out. Forget this. These guys drafted. These gonna be some professionals. So let's talk about Dallas there for a minute. Who's gonna back up Tony Pollard? So
Who
gotta
is?
go.
What's his name?
So a lot of people jumping on the Deuce Vaughn train. And guess what? I guess I'm gonna jump on him too.
Look, man, y'all know who it is, man. Y'all already know who it is. Rojo.
No, unfortunately for the PEDs he took
That's 2 games.
He's probably done. Coach.
This was the last pick, right?
Yeah, it's the last pick.
Yeah, it's the last.
Yeah, this is your Mr. Relevant pick. My Mr. Relevant would be Deuce Vaughn.
I know who I should have picked. And I didn't.
What's the name? Got the guy who I wanted at the very end.
Who?
Evan Hull.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
was
just
getting to thank him.
Yeah, I just said that's who I should. I was like, dang, that's who I should.
Well, because like when he was going over, that's why y'all saw me over here. I was just quiet. I was like, well, I ain't gonna say anything.
Another one for the Colts is kind of sticking out a little bit is Deion Jackson. He did do good when he did play, and he could be another. So I really feel like if the Colts lose JT, they're going to have a committee. There's not going to be no bona fide.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, they'll definitely go committee, but I think they'll because they're not going to have. So when I think committee, I think like literally like how the Rams did it when it was like Malcolm Brown, Darnell, Darrell Henderson, and Cam Akers. Like everybody's getting like 8 touches or something like that. That's a committee to me. That's how I view a committee. But when you got like that 1-2 punch, like Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, or how Chubb and Kareem Hunt, I think it'll be more along the lines of that. But so Evan Hull, right? So one of the things about Evan Hull, I think he was brought in to be the receiving running back, kind of like the Naheem Hines role.
Okay.
If you look at his kind of his stats in college his last year, I think he had over 50 receptions last season. Now the thing about that is he's built like you're a regular 3-down back. Like I think he's like 5'11", like 210 or something like that. Like he's a good size back. He's got the speed. He's got the athletic build. So it's like if they wanted to, they could turn him into a 3-down back. I don't know if they're going to want to. I don't know if he has the running skill to do that. But if he gets the volume, it may not matter. If he gets the volume, he may just end up basically, he could be like a Chris Carson type. Like Chris Carson wasn't like the greatest running back ever, but they'll throw him the ball a couple times a game. They'll give him the ball 20 times a game, and he was a top 10, top 15 running back. So if Evan Hull gets that type of look, then he can end up being a sneaky play for a lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah, I was big on Evan Hull until I traded him away. So now I'm mad about that, but it's okay.
Well, we didn't know what was going to happen with Jonathan Taylor.
Right, who would have thought that?
Right. So,
and I think Ursay is an idiot, but yeah,
man, the stuff he was saying, I was like, bro, you acting like this is your ex or something. Like, why are you talking to him like that? This is a grown man. Why are you talking to this grown man like this? Talk about something. It don't matter. He could die tomorrow, and it wouldn't matter. The NFL gonna go on.
What are you talking? Like, what are you talking about? Right?
He was wild. He was wild. All right. Let me see. Let me look at my completed list over here. All right.
So we're gonna talk about. So we got your favorite author's completed list. Everybody, he ended up with Justin Herbert at QB. This is all his QBs here. Sam Howell. We got Jimmy Garoppolo at running back. He has Austin Eckler, Brees Hall, J.K. Dobbins, Tank Bixby, and then Jerome Ford. Ooh. At wide receiver, he has Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, George Pickens, Zay Flowers, Romeo Doubs, Jonathan Mingo, Isaiah Hodges, and then LaVisca Chenault. And rounding out with his 2 tight ends, he has Pat Freiermuth and then Mr. Gerald Everett.
That's my weakness. Tight end.
Well, I'm gonna say the projection shit. That shit wrong, man. Ain't no way Henry got more points than me.
There is a way to see the projection, everybody's projection, and I think that.
Yeah, I got the worst team, but I got the worst team. But you know what? It's all good.
I got the second highest, and I'm like, how did I even get that? And I think Kris is around 2,500 too.
And I ain't trying to fit nobody, so if I can fit somebody cussing, I apologize.
Also, in Mr. K Camp, his team is at QB. He has Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones, Ryan Tannehill. At running back, he has Christian McCaffrey, Cam Akers, Devon Achane, Khalil Herbert. Then he has Keandre Miller, and then Evan Hall at running back. I like those 2 people at the end. I like them a lot. At wide receiver, he has Devonta Smith, DJ Moore, Jordan Addison, Elijah Moore, Alec Pierce, and John Mechie. And at tight end, he has TJ Hockenson, Juwan Johnson, and then Mike Gesicki. And let's go to Mr. Chase. Let's see what Mr. Champa Bay ended up getting. At QB, he has Mr. Patrick Mahomes, Bryce Young, Desmond Ritter. At running back, he has Alexander Madison. Oh, your running back's a boo-boo, dog.
That's why.
First off, they unproven running backs. They unproven. So if you tell me right now that Alexander, Rashad, and Darren ain't gonna put no numbers up, then I failed you today. I failed you.
So he has at running back. I'm sorry, y'all, for getting off track. At running back, he has Alexander Madison, Rashad White, Dalvin Cook. We don't know where he's going to sign yet, but we already know it's going to be the Jets most likely. He has Mr. Samaj P. Ryan.
He's going to Miami.
He has Devin Singletary, and then he also has Deuce Vaughn. At wide receiver, he has Debo, Traylon Burks, Sky Moore, Adam Thielen, Marvin Mims, Robert Wood. At tight end, he has Travis Kelce, Dalton Kincaid, and then Jake Ferguson.
See the issue with getting Travis Kelce right, and like at the 6, you got to make a decision. Do you go with a top wide receiver, or do you get that stack and go with Patrick Mahomes? Obviously, he went to stack and got Patrick Mahomes, and that's why Debo was his number 1 receiver. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think Dalvin's signing with the Jets because he went down on Sunday and didn't come out with a deal.
Right. I was shocked about that.
Yeah. So I think if they were gonna have something done, and y'all know I had changed my stance once Aaron Rodgers cut all that money from his contract. I was like, oh, if that's the case, then they probably bring in Dalvin. But if it didn't happen after he went down there and all that, I'm thinking that there's a chance either one, because I remember Dalvin actually talked about this. He said before he makes any decision, he's gonna talk it over with his family and all this stuff. So he could be weighing his options. New York might still be in play, but
I think he's trying to play both of them to see like which one's going to give him like the highest amount of money.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably trying to max out whatever he can get.
Because he knows this is probably going to be his last one,
right?
And it might only be like a 2 or 3 year deal, to be honest.
Right.
With you. Yeah. So like he's probably not even asking for like a full, because he's still getting paid from actually Minnesota still. So,
which the smart play from my perspective, and it's not even because I'm a Brees Hall fan. Miami is the smart play. He's a different type of running back than Devon Achane, and so if he signs a 2-3 year deal there, they can play both of them, and they can play different roles. Devon Achane can be your outside zone, jet sweep and pass catching guy, and Dalvin can handle most of the groundwork, and they can still both eat there. But if I feel like staying in New York, eventually he's gonna lose, even if he does start off taking the lead snaps in New York. Brees eventually is gonna eat into that because Dalvin's getting older. Like Brees last year, I think he hit like the third fastest time for a running back on any carry last year. Or, no, for any player. It was third fastest time for any player on a carry last year. And so it's like if he gets back to, full strength, it's like eventually they're going to say, okay, do we want to keep running with the guy that, his shoulder pops out twice a year? Or do we want to go with, the young guy who, we still got more invested in him, So I think that in the long term is not the best, spot for him. If he wants to get paid right now, and if he wants a Super Bowl, that may be a better chance for him. That may be a better shot for him going with the Jets. But I don't know. Miami gonna be tough too. If Tua stays healthy, Miami's tough.
That part.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, then Miami's tough.
And then rounding out the number one team in this draft.
What they got you? What they got you ranked?
So,
pick number one. Just be clear.
Pick number one.
Pick
number one because they're gonna be number one. We got Mr. At QB. We have Joe Burrow, Anthony Richardson, Jared Goff. At running backs, we got Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Robinson, Zamir White, Chase Brown, Ty Chandler, and Deion Jackson. At wide receiver, we have Mr. Jamar Chase, DeAndre Hopkins, J-Mo, even though he's suspended. We got Raji Rice, Michael Gallup, and then Josh Downs. And then at tight end, we have Kyle Pitts and then Sam Laporta. And as y'all can see,
they got you projected kind of low, don't they?
They do.
Projections don't mean anything.
You think it's because Jonathan Taylor didn't have a projected? I'm trying to figure out why they got him so low.
Because I'm projected fifth? I think I'm projected fifth.
How do you see everybody projected at one time? I was trying to look without having to click through everybody's name.
I just clicked through everybody. I don't know. Let me go back to. Let me see. Top dog. What they got you? They got you at 2490. All right. So Joe Burrow, Jared Goff. Your quarterbacks are all solid.
Oh, it said
your running backs ain't bad.
It's running backs, so my running backs and then my wide receivers, they're all mids.
Right.
Like it's not like no big popping out there. Like the only person that's actually going to pop is Jamar Chase. Yeah. But everybody else, it's more of like boom and bust. Like I'm not trying to be like everybody else, and like I say, like I'm always trying to zag whenever people are zigging. Right. So I got to take other players that like people aren't expecting just to actually do good.
I'm off I'm off of Kyle Pitts though, man.
Yeah.
As long as Arthur Smith is there, I think I'm off of Kyle Pitts, man.
Yeah.
It's not that the talent ain't there. I don't think that Arthur Smith has the creativity as a play caller to be able to feature two pass catchers in a way that will be relevant in fantasy. So, like, what I think is going to end up happening is he's going to run a lot of routes, but I don't think he's going to score a lot. And I think Drake London's going to find the end zone. I think if you're going to look for a pass catcher in Atlanta, Drake London or one of the running backs is probably your better bet. I don't think he can draw up plays to get Kyle Pitts where he needs to be successful.
And that's why Kyle Pitts is not my number one tight end, everybody. He's my number two.
I know.
He's my number two.
You took Sam first.
I
think Laporta could be a top 5 tight end. There's a path where he could be a top 5 tight end this year, like year one, especially with Jameson Williams missing a lot of time early on. And so, because people don't know, even though, Hockenson, when he was with the Lions, he had a lot of injuries and stuff that he dealt with too. But if you track the pacing for what he was doing with the Lions last year before they traded him, he was still on pace to be a top 5 tight end. It's just that ramped up a little bit when he went to the Vikings. but he was still on pace to be a top 5 tight end. Laporta being the route runner that he is, he's basically a receiving tight end. And so the way that they're going to use him in this offense, I think he's going to end up, as long as he doesn't have any injuries or anything like that, he'll end up being a top 5 tight end. That's my thoughts on him. So yeah, that's definitely.
So here's the full draft board, everybody.
I didn't think you did that. Where can you see that?
If you go up to you can click on it, and it's like in the bottom right-hand corner.
So John Harbaugh and J.K. Dobbins. I don't know when he's going to come back, but I know I'm going to be really happy when he does. That to me sounds like it's not actually injury related. It's he's making the choice to be away from the team.
No, because he's just trying to get paid. Like that's just like JT. Whenever they was talking, he's trying to he's seeing everybody trying to get paid now. So why shouldn't I go out there? He only has one more year. This is his last year. He was a 2nd round pick.
Right.
Of course, he should get paid, but it depends on how much should he get paid.
Right.
But everybody out there watching, if you think that I had the best draft, go on put a 1 up. If you think Mr. K Camp had the best draft, go and put that number 2. If you think Mr. N.M Porterfield had the best draft, go and put up that number 3. And then if you think Mr. Chase over here, the 2 new inductees and guests up on the podcast, you think he had the best draft, put a number 4 up.
All right, go ahead and put them trays up. We're gonna put
that 1, dog. 1, y'all.
I was in the zone. Could have thrown up them trees.
Yeah, so I'm gonna step out and say I apologize for the beginning because the Wi-Fi was dropping, so I go to that 5G. So,
oh, you good, dog? Thank you for coming. We greatly appreciate you coming into the Cerberus Gridiron podcast. We're gonna think about doing another draft next week, especially since we know that the drafts are coming. It's draft season, trying to get y'all comfortable and ready, seeing like different options of like what you can see. We're also going to share this up on Twitter or X now. Don't know why it's called that, but we already know why.
I was like, hey, the thing changed. This Twitter? Like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Boy. So we're going to show everybody's list and everything. We're going to see like what's the possibility, guys, you can end up getting in the round based off of your selection. Anything else you want to say, Mr. Kris Camp?
No, I just want to say shout out to both our guests. We appreciate. Okay, you talk y'all for coming and joining. Check out that Burn the Playbook dropping tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
What time is it dropping? Kickoff time.
Kickoff.
Yeah, so at kickoff it's gonna. If you follow me on Twitter at Burn the Playbook, follow me on Facebook Burn the Playbook Fantasy Football, on IG, on all of that. There'll be a link there, and then if you join the Patreon, then of course you'll get the guide for free. So anyone who joins the Patreon, you get the guide for free. Otherwise, you'd be buying the guide from me. But check that out. Make sure you get that so you can boost your fantasy production for this year, so you can come out as a winner in 2023. You know what I'm saying? We got you here. Why you looking off to the side, Kris? You got something to say?
No, I hope.
Yep, he got something to say.
I hope if it's good, you take your own advice. That's all.
All right, everybody, don't forget to like, subscribe, and
5 stars.
So subscribe, 5 stars up on Apple Podcasts. We out of here.
Peace.
All right, hey, y'all remember, do number 1.
Thanks for checking out another episode of Cerberus Gridiron Podcast, powered by Cerberus Fantasy Sports. Make sure you stay tuned for the next episode.